exactly what
Okay, so I know y'all remember her.
Which is
That's
Marshall Law.
Eliana Garcia, who I
We
just
tried to tell y'all with our
was the
votes.
leader and creator of
Which is Marshall Law.
We knew it
Latinas
was gonna
for
happen.
Trump.
We
And
knew
she
that we would
recently
end up
released
right
a
here
statement
at some point
saying
during this
that
Which is
administration.
Marshall Law. Exactly what
the
they want.
White House immigration
Which is Marshall
crackdown
Law.
was
Exactly what they want.
inhumane.
Which is Marshall Law. Exactly what they
Now,
want.
she said,
Which
this
is
is not
Marshall
what
Law.
we voted for.
We tried to tell y'all.
State Senator Eliana
Which is
Garcia
Marshall
said
We
Law.
in a
tried to tell
statement
y'all
on
with our votes.
Saturday.
Which is
I
Marshall Law.
have always
Exactly
We knew it
supported
was gonna
Trump
happen.
through thick and
Which is
We
thin.
Marshall Law.
knew that we would
However,
end up
this
right
is
here at some
unacceptable
point
Which
during
is
this
Marshall Law.
administration.
Exactly what they want.
Well, they did sign up
Which is
for it,
Marshall Law.
actually, and this is what I campaigned on.
Which is
We tried to
Marshall
tell
Law.
y'all.
Politicians that are saying this, I
We
don't know
tried
if
to
you're
tell y'all
on
with our
because you're
votes.
hoping to get
Which
points
is Marshall
back
Law.
We knew it was gonna
with your
happen.
community, with
We
your
knew that we would
constituents,
end up
know
right
that
here
you
at
spoke
some point
about
during
the
this
river,
administration.
but
Which is Marshall
it's
Law.
not going
Exactly what they want.
one, this is
Which
what
is
you
Marshall
voted
Law.
for.
Exactly what
Do
they
you
want.
not remember when this
We
man
tried to
held
tell
a
y'all.
rally and there was one person
We
there
tried
that
to
he
tell
didn't
y'all
like at
with
the
our
rally,
votes.
so he instructed the
Which
group
is
of
Marshall
knew it
Law.
was
people
gonna
to
happen.
beat that person up
We
and
knew
drag
that we
him
would end up
out
right here
of the
at some
rally.
point during this administration.
Which is Marshall Law.
But there's a slob. There's a real slob.
Exactly what they want.
If he does that with somebody
Which is
at a
Marshall Law.
rally,
Exactly
what do you
what they
think
want.
what he would do with the
Which is
people
Marshall Law.
that he has
Exactly what they
labeled
We tried to tell y'all.
horrible things
Which is
that
Marshall
he
Law.
says
Exactly
We
don't
tried
belong
to
in
tell
this
y'all
country?
with our votes.
Which is Marshall Law. Exactly
Y'all
what they
did
want.
We knew
know
it was gonna happen.
this was
Which is
going to
Marshall Law.
happen.
We
Exactly
knew
what they
that we
This
would
is
end
what
up
you
right
voted
here
for.
at
Which
some
is
point
Marshall
during
Law.
this
This is
Exactly
what
what they
you
administration.
want.
wanted. Because
Which
if
is
you
Marshall
didn't
Law.
want this,
Exactly
there
what
was
they want.
another clear option of something
Which is
he's not
Marshall Law.
going
We
to
tried to
do
tell y'all.
any of this.
Exactly what they
We
want.
tried
And
to
the
tell
fact
y'all
that
with
you're
our
Which
the
is
votes.
Marshall
leader
Law.
of a
Exactly
group
what they
called
want.
We knew it was
Latinas
gonna
Which is
happen.
for
Marshall Law.
Trump, that
Exactly
is
what
We
they want.
knew that we would end up
Latin
right
Which is
here
Marshall
at
Law.
some
for
point during this
Trump
administration.
says it all.
Which is
I
Marshall Law.
cannot
Exactly what they
believe
want.
that you decided to put
Which
out
is
the
Marshall Law.
statement.
Exactly what they want.
Girl,
We tried to tell y'all.
bye.
Which is Marshall Law. Exactly what
We
they
tried to
want.
tell y'all with our
Which is
votes.
Marshall Law. Exactly what they want.
We knew it was gonna
Which
happen.
is Marshall Law.
We knew that we would end up right here at some point during this
Which is
administration.
Marshall Law. Exactly what they want.
I can see the
Which is
fucking
Marshall Law.
shame in your
Exactly what they
fucked
want.
up face, Tutu.
Which is
I
Marshall
see
Law.
the
Exactly what
shame
they
in
want.
you. But tell
Which
your
is Marshall
mama
Law.
how you
Exactly what
proud.
they
We
want.
tried to tell
For
y'all.
rallying
Which is
people.
Marshall Law. Exactly
We
what they
tried
And
to
want.
tell
taking
y'all
them
with our
in.
Which
votes.
What
is
crime
Marshall
did
Law.
they
Exactly
make?
what they want.
What
We knew it was
crime
gonna
did they
happen.
Which is
commit?
Marshall Law.
We
Exactly what
knew
they
that we
want.
would end up right here
Which
at
is
some
Marshall
point
Law.
during
Sure,
this
you're
Exactly what they
administration.
proud,
want.
man. Business people.
We tried to
Look
tell
at you.
y'all.
Which
You're
is
darker
Marshall
than
Law.
I am.
Exactly what they
We
want.
Fuck me
tried
up.
to tell y'all with
Which
You're
is
our
Marshall
darker
Law.
votes.
than
Exactly what
me.
they want.
But
We
I'm
knew it was
sure
gonna
Which is
you're
happen.
Marshall Law.
proud.
Exactly what
We
they want.
knew that we would end up
Which
right
is
here
Marshall
Shoot me
Law.
in
at
the
some
Exactly
point
what
during
head.
they
this
want.
administration.
Which
Cuidado,
is Marshall
puto.
Law.
Because you
Exactly
didn't
what
have
they
the
want.
balls to stand up for your
Which is Marshall Law.
We
Exactly
tried to
what
tell
they
y'all.
want.
Donald Trump.
Which is Marshall
We
Law.
tried to
Exactly
tell
what they
y'all with
want.
our votes.
Which is Marshall Law.
We knew it was gonna happen. We knew that we would end up right here at some point during this administration.
Just
Okay, so I know y'all
attacking
remember
law
her.
enforcement.
Okay, so I know y'all
And
remember
I
her.
just want to make
Okay,
something
so I
very
know y'all
clear
remember
that
her.
I do not
Okay, so I know
support
y'all
We tried to
remember
tell y'all.
her.
violence by any means. I don't think
We
that
tried to
riots
tell
and
y'all
violence
with
are
our
ever the
votes.
answer, especially not
We knew it was gonna
vandalizing or
happen.
burning cars. Like
We knew
that's
that
not
we would
something
end
I
up right
support.
here at some point
However,
during this
I do want to make
administration.
something
Okay,
also
so I
very
know
clear
y'all
that
remember
when
her.
I got there
Okay, so I know y'all
at
remember
2 p.m.
her.
early,
Okay,
We
so I
tried to
know
tell
y'all
y'all.
everybody,
remember her.
it was just a
Okay,
completely
so I
We
know
different
y'all
tried
crowd
to
of
tell
remember
people
y'all
her.
with
there
our
were there
votes.
to protest against
We knew it was
ICE
gonna
and the
happen.
inhumane treatment of
We knew
immigrants
that we would end up right here
peacefully.
at some point during this
I mean, there was
administration.
people of all backgrounds, Black, Latino, Asian,
No.
young, old. I mean,
Okay,
people were
so I
passing
know
out
y'all remember
snacks,
her.
water,
We tried to tell
Okay,
y'all.
so I know y'all
chanting
remember her.
We
Okay,
tried
so
to
I know
tell
y'all
y'all with
remember
our
her.
And
votes.
it wasn't
Okay, so
until
I
we
know
got
y'all
down to the
remember
We
her.
knew
freeway
it
that
was
I
gonna happen.
noticed that there
We
were
knew that we would end up
some
right
people
here at some
there
point during this
that were there
administration.
to start violence. And I started to notice it because they were throwing things at the cops, um, yelling slurs at them,
We
just
tried to
trying
tell
to
y'all.
like incite
We
a
tried to
fight,
tell
like to
y'all
get
with our
them to
votes.
fight back. And I was like trying to
We
tell
knew
them
it was
like
gonna
stop
happen.
throwing things because
We knew that we
first off
would
the
end
police
up
weren't
right
throwing
here
anything
at
at
some
us in the
point during
beginning.
this administration.
It was until people from the top
No.
of the bridge were throwing things down to
We
the
tried to tell
police,
y'all.
and then the people down
We
on the
tried to tell
freeway
y'all
were
with our votes.
just trying to like
Okay,
get in
so
the
I know
cops'
y'all
faces
remember
and like
her.
yell at
We
them.
knew
so I
that we
know
would
y'all
end up
The
right
things
remember
start
her.
to
here at
go
some point
get
during
I
this
know
really
y'all
administration.
remember
crazy,
her.
right?
Okay,
And
so I know y'all
also before
remember
that,
her.
there were people that were caught in the middle of the freeway
We tried to tell y'all.
in their cars that I was trying to
We
like
tried
help
to tell
get
y'all
out,
with
and a
our
couple other
votes.
people were trying to also help them
We
get
knew
out.
it was gonna
so I
But then
know
there
happen.
were
y'all
people that were
remember
like
her.
We
fighting,
knew
trying to
that
Okay,
we
fight
so
us,
would
I
and I
end
was
know
up
like,
y'all
right
no,
remember
here
her.
at
they
some
need to
point
stay
during
Okay,
this
so
here.
I
And I'm
know
like,
y'all
administration.
no,
remember her.
because
Okay, so I know
there
y'all
was an old
remember
lady
her.
there that was stuck, and I was like, we're not gonna keep this old lady here. And then the next thing you know, cops are throwing rubber bullets, and then
We tried to tell
God
y'all.
forbid one hits this old lady. Like,
We
no,
tried to
I'm
tell
not
y'all
okay
with
with
our
that. Like,
votes.
these people didn't choose to be a
We knew it was
part
gonna happen.
of this
We knew
protest.
that we would end up right
So
here at
yeah, they
some
were trying
point
to
during
fight
this
me on it.
administration.
Luckily, we ended up figuring it out and getting
And
all those innocent people like
we
out
tried to
of
tell y'all.
harm's way, because
We tried to tell y'all with
that's
our
just
votes.
not a safe situation for
We knew it was gonna
anyone
happen.
involved, right?
We knew that we would
But
end up right here
Okay,
then
at
so
some
I
I
point
know
during
y'all
this
noticed, like I
administration.
said, I started
Okay,
to
so I
see
know
people.
y'all
Now
remember
it's around
her.
like 4
Okay,
o'clock,
so I
right?
know y'all
I
remember
started to
her.
see people
Okay,
arriving,
so I know
and
We
the
tried to
y'all
tell
Republicans
y'all.
remember her.
arriving in like right here.
We tried to
And
tell
like
y'all
they
with our
had, they
votes.
were like throwing stuff like
We knew it was
gallons
gonna
of
happen.
whatever it was.
We knew
They
that we
had
would
like
end up right
homemade
here at some
bombs and
point
like
during this
shields,
administration.
and I'm like yelling at them because again,
No.
they are making
Okay,
everybody
so I
else
know
look
y'all
bad.
remember her.
They
Okay,
are
so I
there
know
just
y'all remember
inciting
her.
riots,
Okay,
inciting
so I know y'all remember her.
We tried to
violence,
tell y'all.
and
Okay, so I know
it's
y'all remember
just
her.
We tried
I
to tell
don't,
y'all
like I
with
said,
our
I don't
votes.
support violence. That's not,
We knew it was gonna happen.
it's
We
just not what
knew
I
that
believe
we would
in,
end
and I
up
feel
right
like
here
it
at some point during this
only
administration.
makes Trump and his administration
No.
double down on how
We tried to tell
like
y'all.
crazy and chaotic
We
we are.
tried to tell y'all
When
with our
once
votes.
again, it's like the majority of everybody that
We
was
knew it was
there
gonna
was
happen.
there
Y'all remember her.
peacefully.
We
It wasn't
knew
until
that we
later
would
on
end up
that
right
people
here
started
at some
to
point during
arrive
this administration.
with other
Okay,
plans.
so I know y'all remember
So I
her.
don't want the narrative to
We
get
tried to tell y'all.
twisted and to be like everybody was
We
there with
tried
chaos,
to tell
because no,
y'all
it was
with our
not like
votes.
that. Earlier today was
We knew
insanely
it was gonna
peaceful.
happen.
Everybody was
We
there with the
knew that we
common
would
goal
end
of
up right
Okay,
here
so I
fighting
know
at
for
some
y'all
point
justice
during
for
this
these
remember her.
innocent
administration.
immigrants
Okay,
that
so
are
I
being
know y'all remember
criminalized
her.
and
Okay,
treated
so I
like
know y'all remember
violent
her.
criminals.
Okay, so I know y'all remember her.
And now, I mean,
We
it's
tried to
just
tell y'all.
chaos. It's just
We tried
absolute
to tell y'all with our votes.
chaos, and I just
Okay,
feel
so I
bad
We
know
knew
for
it was
y'all
gonna
anybody that
happen.
was
remember her.
caught in the middle of
Okay,
that.
We
so I
I
know
knew
y'all
that we
honestly
would
was
end
remember
up
her.
right
super
here
Okay,
mad
at
so I
some
though
know
that
point
I
during
y'all
this
saw
remember
cops
her.
administration.
arriving in
Okay,
horses,
so I know
because
y'all
why would
remember
you
her.
ever bring,
No.
why would you come to a riot
We tried
on
to
a
tell
horse?
y'all.
And then, of course, like I said,
We
there were
tried
those
to tell
idiot
y'all with our
rioters
votes.
that were throwing things at the
We knew it
police
was
on
gonna
horse,
happen.
and I'm just like,
We knew
this
that
is
we would
just
end
so
up right
wrong.
here
Like,
at some point during this administration.
horses don't belong at a
Okay,
riot.
so I know y'all remember
They
her.
just don't.
Okay, so
I
I know
get
y'all
that
remember
people
her.
are angry.
Okay,
I
so I
get
know y'all
We
remember
tried to
her.
tell y'all.
everything. However,
so I know
violence
y'all
does not
remember
We
her.
work.
tried to
If
tell y'all
anything, it's
with our
just giving
votes.
Trump the excuse to do
We
exactly
knew
what
it
he
was gonna
wants, which
happen.
is to send more
We
military,
knew that we
escalate
would end
force,
up right here
and to
at
push
some
for
point
martial
during this
law.
administration.
Under the Insurrection Act, he can declare martial law
No.
if the violence continues, even
Okay,
if
so I
local
know y'all
officials
remember
oppose it,
her.
which
Okay,
means
so I know y'all remember
more
her.
raids,
Okay,
more
so I know
We tried to
arrests,
tell
y'all
y'all.
remember
more
her.
fear,
Okay,
and
so I
less
know y'all
We
freedom
tried
remember
to
for
tell
her.
all
y'all
of
with our
us.
votes.
And who do you think he's going to target first?
We knew it was gonna happen. We knew that we would end up
Black
right
and brown
here at some point
communities,
during this administration.
immigrants, protesters.
Okay, so I know
So
y'all remember
yeah,
her.
this chaos
Okay, so I
is
We
know
tried to
y'all
tell y'all.
remember her.
exactly what
Okay,
he
so I
wants,
know
so
We
y'all
that he
tried
can
to
remember
tell
crack
her.
y'all
down on
with
us.
our
Okay, so I
Please
votes.
know y'all
don't give him
remember
that
her.
narrative.
We knew it was gonna happen.
Don't
We
just
knew
hand
that we would
Okay,
end up
so I know
right
y'all
here
exactly
remember
what
at
he
some
her.
point
wants.
during this
Our
Okay, so
administration.
I
power
know
is
y'all
in our
remember her.
unity,
Okay,
in
so I know
showing
y'all
up
remember her.
loudly
Okay, so I know y'all
but
remember her.
peacefully. Because the second we turn violent, we stop being a movement and we become the excuse. The
Okay, so I
excuse
know
that
y'all
they're
remember
looking
her.
for to
Okay,
get
so I know y'all
exactly
remember
what they
her.
want,
Okay, so I know y'all
which is
remember
martial law.
her.